Hi, greetings from Regional Training Institute, Hyderabad. I am Subramani Sharma, core faculty, Information Systems. Today, I am presenting you one of the powerful features of Excel, that is pivot table. Okay, I will show you the basics of pivot table. Using this pivot table, uh, how easily and how efficiently we can create various tables, and also which is useful for data analysis. Okay, I'm pretty sure you accept with me after this video. Without learning this pivot table, learning Excel is not complete. Okay, um, I will now let us proceed to our Excel sheet. I will share my screen. From there, I will show you what is pivot table, what are the features of the pivot table, and how to create various summary tables using the pivot table. Actually, pivot table basically is a summarization tool, right? I think in our day-to-day examples or day-to-day life, we may need to create various summarization information, right? Uh, we can, using pivot table, we can achieve that objectives very easily and quickly. Otherwise, we have to make lot of effort to create a summarization. For example, suppose let us say voucher level data is there with us, and we want to create totals, voucher totals for each treasury and for each major head. Suppose let us take this as an example, right? And there may be in a state there may be say 20 to 30 districts may be there, and major heads, we know how many major heads will be there, and in each treasury every major head expenditure will be booked against each major head. Okay, so if we want to compute voucher amount or expenditure, for example, okay, for each major head under each treasury, right, how difficult it is, I will show you that example so that you can understand what effort we need to put it to create this create that table. Okay, this is my Excel sheet. Yeah, right. I will zoom this so that you can read it properly, right? So let us see. These are the treasuries of Telangana state, and these are the major heads. Suppose this is the total of 2014 major head in Adilabad district, and this is the total expenditure of 2015 major head under Adilabad, like this. Okay, so this, suppose if the objective or our task is to prepare this information, right? Can you tell me how much time it takes to compute these totals, right? Okay, these totals were prepared based on this base data. This is our base data. I will zoom. Yeah. Right. So this is voucher level data actually, and this is the treasury, this is the month of account, and this is the classification along with nomenclature, major head, sub major head, minor head, and all. Okay, group sub head, entire classification. Okay, and this is the object head and object head nomenclature, and this is the DDO code, and this is the DDO designation, this is the voucher number, voucher date, and voucher amount. This information is available with us. Okay, and we can also see the number of records here. How many records are there? Uh, how many records? Six lakhs 47,661 records are there. So I think we all aware that Excel can handle around 10 lakh records, right? So it is almost 60% of its capacity, right? With this information, we want to compute the totals for each treasury and major head in this format. right? What we have to do is, suppose if it is in Adilabad, then you have to go to that Adilabad, then you have to, this is the major head, you have to filter that major head, and you have to use the sum function to prepare the total, then you have to copy and paste something like, okay. But this table we can easily create using the pivot, and how quickly and how efficiently, let us see. Okay, now I am preparing, our objective is to prepare that information using this base data. Okay. Let us achieve that using the pivot table. Before going to the pivot table, generally what happens, my suggestion is, whenever you are handling huge data sets for pivot table, you convert this into a table. Okay, there is a concept called in table. Of course, I already explained about the power of a table in another video. You may see that, or you can search the internet and for more information on table. Okay, I will show you how to convert this into a table. To do that, you have to click this insert, and there is a table concept is there, a table option is there, that you have to press. Okay, once you press this, uh, okay, because we are using the Microsoft Teams and the pop-up will not be visible properly. That's why I copied that image here for your readability purpose. So once you click that, it will ask you like this: create table. Where is the data for your table, right? It will give you the range from A1 to the last cell. Okay, from the first cell to last cell, the range will automatically will appear here. You need not change anything. And the next one is my table has headers. Okay, because our data has headers. Okay, that checkbox will automatically appear based on that. Only thing is you have to press OK. So that's what I'm doing here, because that pop-up will not be visible to you. I'm doing nothing. Just I'm pressing OK. Once I pressed OK, the data was converted into a table. Okay, in the table, these are the column heads, also called fields, because I'm saying it is a table. In the table, every column will be called as a field, right? It is in a database like. Okay, from this I'm creating my pivot table. So to create a pivot table, again you have to go to the insert menu. From there you have to choose the pivot table option from the menu. Again, I think this pop-up again will not be visible. I will show you this pop-up here in this image. See, this is the pivot table option. What is here? Choose the data that you want to analyze, because we have converted the data into a table, right? It is asking table or range, because we have converted the data into a table. It is saying the table name, right? So, and create where you want the pivot table report to be placed. So I'm saying new worksheet. So when I say here also, we need not to do anything, just we have to say OK, right? Once you create OK, it will create a blank sheet with the pivot table functionality. Okay, this is the pivot table blank screen. Once you say insert pivot table, and if you said OK, then this blank screen will appear on your Excel. Okay, here let us observe what are the what information it contains in the pivot table. On the left side, there is a small image is there, and it is titled with to build a report, choose fields from the pivot table field list. It is saying that choose fields from the pivot table field list. In the right side, pivot table fields are there. That means to create a pivot table, it is asking us to choose some fields. Okay, right. And below that, there are 4 boxes are there, right? Drag fields between areas below. One is filters, the second one is columns, rows, and values. I think by reading this, we can understand that if at all, if we want to put some information in the rows, then that field list should be put in the rows. And whatever the fields we want to put it as a columns, those fields should be kept in the columns, right? So in our earlier example, we are want now our task is to generate the voucher total for each treasury and for each major head. So in that example, treasuries are rows and major heads are columns. So let us put the treasury in the rows and see what happens. I am just to put these rows in the rows box. Okay, just I have to drag it and drop it. See, I'm just dragging and dropping in the treasury, in the rows box. Once the treasury field is dropped in the rows box, in the pivot image, automatically the treasury names were populated. Okay, is simple as that. Shall I repeat this? I will show you again. Just this treasury, hold this and drag and drop it and put it on the rows. Then the values of that field will appear as rows, because here it is a treasury, the treasury names were appeared as a row in the rows. Okay, now we have to put the columns. In the columns we have to, what is our field? It is a measure head. Now I'm selecting this measure head, drag and drop and put it as a column. You see, all the measures are appearing in the columns. Now we want to compute now the voucher total. See, voucher amount is the field that you have to drag and drop and put it in the values. So in the values, always remember that we have to use only the number fields. Okay, where like amount, expenditure, receipt, right? Whatever the number field is available, that we have to put it in the value, so that our computation will be based on that number field. Okay. Now, if you see the label here, what it is saying, sum of voucher amount. That means it calculated the total sum. Okay, right? So this, if you see, is Adilabad 10307 like that. So let us go to our example and see here 103073667. That means whatever the pivot table which we have created, it is similar to the example which already we have I have shown you just before, just now. Okay, so how much time it took? It hardly take some 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. Okay. The another in the example, actually for readability purpose, commas are there, right? 1000 separators, and it was a create board. That also we can do in this example. To achieve that, to format the amounts and all numbers, what you have to do is you have to click here. Okay, here value field settings is there. If you click this value field settings, a pop-up will appear. I'm sorry, this pop-up also may not be visible to you. I will show you this pop-up for you. Okay, once. Yeah, you see, once you click that fields setting format, you can this pop-up will be visible on your screen. Say here, you see some summaries value field by. Okay, choose the type of calculation that you want to use the summarization. One is sum, count, average, max, min. There are so many options are available. Suppose if you choose the count, what it will do is it will count the number of vouchers for each category. That is for each measured under each treasury. If you want to average, okay, what is the average amount or average expenditure? If you select the average, then automatically your pivot table will compute the average for each measured for each treasury. Like that, it is very simple. Only thing is you have to choose. You need not type any formula. Only thing is already built-in formulas are there. If you click on that, the action will be performed. Okay. Now, let us come back to our pivot table, right? Once you click this sum of voucher amount, value field settings here, I said sum because by default it is there. In some versions, by default count will come. If you want to change from count to sum, what you have to do is you have to click on that field settings, come here and select sum or count or average, whatever you want. Okay. Now I am selecting count to see, because the sum is already displayed and I want to change it to number of vouchers, that is count. So when I said OK, now these are the number of vouchers for this measured in this district. And if you see the label, it is count of voucher amount. So by seeing this label, we can realize that which function is used. It is a count or sum, average, min, max, whatever it may be. Okay. If you want to change it, only thing is you have to click it here, select the value field settings, and you have to choose the option available, which is displayed as a pop-up. Okay, now I will change back to some, right? So this is the amount. Now I want to add format the amounts. So for formatting the amounts also, what you have to do is you have to click the field settings, and from there what you have to choose the num sorry you have to choose the number format. Because the pop-up is not visible, I will show you how it looks. Sorry, not one, this one, values format. Here you see the number format button is there. If you click this number format, this pop-up will appear. This all we know. I think we are all familiar with changing the number formats. There you have to select the number and you have to use the 1000 separator, and because it is a voucher total and you don't want decimals, you can put these decimals places as 0, or if you want to 2 decimals, you can put 2 decimals. That means whatever format you want to apply on the numbers, there you can, here you can choose. So once you click the number format button, this format cells pop-up will appear. From there you can choose your desired format for that number. So in this our example, I am choosing this number format, and I am putting decimals 0, and I'm putting selecting this 1000 separator. Okay, so when you say OK, 1000 separators will appear. Okay, okay. And if you want to bit, I will zoom it bit so that you can see clearly. Right now, if you want to bold all these things, you can say Control A, select everything, and just you can say B, that is bold. So that's it. So I think with the 4-5 clicks, right, we could able to generate the measured wise, district wise totals, right, from 6 lakhs, 6.6 lakhs records, right. So this is the power of our pivot table. Using the pivot table, because I said pivot table is a summarization tool. It quickly summarizes any number of any large data set and gives you results in very quickly. Suppose if the same task, if you want to do without a pivot table, you can imagine what effort we have to put, and not only copying and pasting, again we have to reconcile, right, whether it is properly calculated or not. Sometimes, you know, by applying so many filters, we may go wrong, and again a reconciliation process is required. Okay, so I'm pretty sure hereafter, whenever you want to do some summarization information like this, pivot table will come very handy. Okay, now we have already seen these 3 boxes, and the fourth one is filters, right? So let us see what is filters. Generally, we know if you want to apply a filter, suppose I want to apply a filter on the treasury, right? Suppose I click it here, I can apply filters, right? Say Adilabad, if I selected some 2-3 districts, then it said okay, then only those 3 records will be filtered. We know all filter, what is a filter, right? But now here we are seeing only treasury and major heads, right? But suppose I want to generate a total for a particular minor head, say let us say 800, right? How to filter that? Isn't it? See, if it is visible in our screen, we can easily apply filters. Okay, suppose like for any major head, if you want to apply, you can go to the column labels and you can select what are the major heads you want, 14 and 15. Yes, you can, because it is visible. We are applying. We are able to apply filters. But if minor head, if you want to apply filter on minor heads, because minor head is not visible, I cannot apply filter in the present scenario format. Okay, so but pivot table has given a facility, that is filter box, where suppose if you want to apply some filter on minor head, what you have to do is you have to drag and drop this minor head and put it in the filter box. Once you drag and drop it in the filter box, what it will do is, and the top of the or the first row, okay, it will show you, it will create a filter for minor head. Here, from here you can select whatever minor head you want, right? Suppose I said 800. If you click this on the 800 and you say OK, now these totals are for 800 minor head, for each major head, and for each treasury. Okay, clear? Okay, so this is how we can apply filters without though the columns are not visible in our pivot table. Okay, that's why whenever the columns which are not available in your pivot table, and if you want to apply filters on that, what you can do is you have to drag and drop those columns in the filter box. Okay, right. Now if you want to remove this filter, what you can do is again you can go there and you can say select all, right? So the filter is removed, and from here also if you want to remove, what you can do is just drag and drop this out of the box. So that filter will disappear from your screen. Okay, now I'm removing this major head also. Okay, now okay, so once I removed the major head, there are no columns, only rows are there. That means the my present pivot table is depicting the total expenditure for each treasury, okay, or each district. Now we can create a hierarchical data also. That means under each treasury, suppose if I put this major head in the rows column itself, right, then what it will do is first it will generate the treasury wise total, and it is like a grouping. In the treasury, major heads will be grouped. I think we all know what is grouping. Now see, earlier these totals were appeared as columns. Now they are appearing as rows. Okay, first it will generate the Adilabad district total, and the plus symbol will come. This is to expand or collapse. Okay, if you click that under Adilabad, this is the amount for, sorry, this is the amount for 2014 major head. Okay, now if you want to sort this data also, what you can do is just go and sort from largest to smallest. So within that district, the data can be sorted very easily. Okay, so in Adilabad, what is the highest expenditure? In which major head the expenditure spent at large? That is 2071, right? So this is the second highest, 2055. Like that, we can create this hierarchy. Okay, now. Okay. And there are now A and B, two columns are there. Suppose if I click in any cell in C or D, that is out of our pivot table, the pivot table fields are disappearing. Okay, if you click in the pivot table, then only you can see this pivot table fields. Similarly, you can change you can observe the changes in the menu also. If you are in the pivot table, there are two menus are added. One is analyze and design. If you click out of this, or if your focus is out of the pivot table, those menus are disappearing. That means if you are in the pivot table, two menus are added. One is analyze and design. That means these two are exclusive to this pivot table, right? So not only just creating the pivot table, there are some more other options are also there in the menu. So let us see one by one. Now I'm sure you understood the purpose of these four boxes. One is rows, columns, values and filters. Generally rows, whatever the field you dropped in the rows, that will appear as a rows, and whatever field you put it in the columns, that will appear as a column, and the values, any number field which you put in the values, then it will prepare summarization based on that field. Okay, if you want to apply filters, if those are part of our pivot table, there is no need to drop it in the pivot filters box. If it is not part of your pivot table, any field which is not part of your pivot table but appearing in your pivot field list, those you can drop in your filters, and from there you can apply filters on the pivot table data. Okay, now let us see the important functions or options available in the menu. Right, pivot table name, that you can give any name for this pivot table, because in day-to-day life we will create so many pivot tables. Giving a proper name will help us to recognize which pivot table is what. Okay, naming convention. So this is a treasury wise what, maybe any name you can give, no problem, right? And here active field is there. this see, when I clicked on the treasury, it is saying treasury, or if I click on the voucher amount, it is saying sum of voucher amount. Here also field setting is there, right? There also you can change the settings. There are two ways. One is from values, you can click this, or from the menu also you can choose this field setting and you can change the format. Okay. Now here in the this is expand field and this is the collapse field, where if you click this, all the rows will be collapsed, or if you want expand, it will expand all the rows. So it is a one stroke for all rows, right? Okay. Group selection is nothing but you can group 2, 3 major heads, or suppose if you have revenue and capital, all revenue heads, major heads you want to group, then you can select those revenue major heads and you can group it so that it will create a group and it will show you the totals. Okay. Here the very two important options are there. One is slicer and another is timeline. These are very, very important. Let us see what are these two. Okay. Right. Once you slicer is makes it faster and easier to filter tables. It is also a slicer is nothing but sorry, slicer is nothing but a table. Sorry, filter. Okay. It is also acts like your filter box. But here what you can do is in the filter box, once you drop this field in the filter box, it appears in the top of that. Again, you have to click and you have to select. But if you create a slicer, how it looks, let us see. Once I click this insert slicer, okay. Sorry, the pop-up will appear like this, right? That means all the field names will appear. Insert a slicer, heading will be there, and it will give you all the fields list. Only thing is you have to select which field you want to create a slicer. Okay. Now, so here I am clicking. Yeah, this is our pivot table. I am clicking this insert slicer. So the bit confusion is because the pop-ups won't appear or won't visible in the Teams. That's why what I did is I copied the screenshot and put it in a separate sheet, and I'm showing it to you so that you can understand the concept in a better way, right? Okay. Now I'm selecting as I'm creating a slicer based on the major head. There I selected the major head. So once you select a major head, all the distinct major heads will appear like this in a box. Okay. Now all the major heads were selected. Now if I click on the 2014, right, automatically your pivot table will respond, or filter will be applied for 2014 major head. Or similarly, you click on any major head, then your pivot table values in your pivot table will change instantly. So it is a filter. But here another advantage, you can apply, you can select multiple values also. So to get multiple select, you can click this, and from after that you can select like this. So now the values which we are seeing is pertains to 2015, 2030 and 2041 major heads, right? So if you remove this like this, so it will instantly calculate the values based on your filter. So this is the slicer. So another advantage of the pivot slicer is it will allow you to create multiple slicers. Suppose now this is the major head. Now I will create one more slicer based on some minor head. So now I'm selecting minor head from the pop-up. Okay. Now this is the minor head. Okay. Now you here you see when I selected the 2015, here all the major minor heads are not enabled. Rather, only 4 minor heads are enabled. The remaining are disabled. Suppose 001, 003 are disabled, but only 102, 103, 105, and 106 minor heads are enabled. That means whenever you are creating multiple slicers, all will be synchronized internally. That means by seeing this slicer of minor head, we can understand that only 4 minor heads are available in 2015. right? So if at all, if you want to apply filter on minor heads, because there is no data of 001, so that is why you cannot apply a filter. So Excel recognize that there are no such minor heads in 2015. That's why those were disabled. Those minor heads were enabled. Those values were enabled. Only those values can be used for filter. Okay, now I'm clicking on 106. That means this data is 106 minor head of 2015 values, right? This is the 105 like this. Okay, if you want multiple values, if you want to select, you can choose this option and you can select multiple values, right? So this slicer helps you to whenever you use multiple filters, slicers will come very handy because all the slicers will be synchronized internally, right? Internally filters also applied on slicers, and it won't allow you to choose wrong values as a filter. Okay, now to remove these slicers, right click and uh, right click and you can say remove minor head. Okay, and similarly you can also remove major head. Okay, now you go to that analyze. Okay, uh, okay. I want to clear all the filters. What you can do is just clear and clear filters. Okay, that's it. Suppose you have applied multiple filters, and if you want to clear all filters at a time, you can go to the clear and say clear filters, right? So that is. Now one more important feature here is insert a timeline. Okay, this is also a filter like slicer, but this timeline can be applied only on date fields. That's it. Okay, if I click this, okay. Voucher number and voucher date. These are all, it is saying these are all not dates. Uh, See, month of account, it is showing as a number here in our base data. That's why it is saying that you cannot apply filters. So I'm changing this format for this cell. Generally what happens, internally date is also a number for Excel. So we have to convert this to a date. Okay, now my month of account is displaying as a date. Similarly, we have to convert format the voucher date also. Format cell, and I'm selecting date. Okay. So once you change the format, it appears as a date, right? Okay. Now come to our pivot table. What you have to do is you have to select this and refresh, because you have made some changes to the base data and that won't instantly reflect in your pivot table. So if you want to apply or if you want to reflect the changes which you made into your base data into this, you have to click this refresh button. So what it will do is it will again go back to the base table, and from there it will pick up the data. Now if I click this insert timeline, now you see I think this pop-up again is not visible. I will show you the image how it looks, which I copied here. Yeah, right. See, month of account, voucher date. There are two date fields are there. Once you click insert timeline, right? So two fields will appear. You have to choose a month of account or voucher date, whatever it may be. Okay. Now come back to our pivot. Yeah. Now here I am selecting insert timeline. Okay, I'm selecting month of account. Say okay, right? Now I think this is visible to all. If you see, sorry, here all months are appearing here, and maybe you can see expand it, and here months are there, and if you click this you can see years, quarters, days, months, and like that. Suppose you have clicked on the years, Okay, your timeline will have 2 years, 2018 and 2019. If you click on 2018, so the pivot will respond, they will compute all the voucher data for 2018 year. That is maybe from April 18 to December 18. If you click on 2019, this is for 3 months. Okay. Similarly, if you want to compute the totals quarterly, right? So it will give you options quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, like that. Okay. And if you just click it, automatically it will generate for each quarter. Okay, so there is no need to do much. Only thing is you have to insert this timeliner and select the quarters, and automatically you can get the quarter for that 3 months expenditure. You can get that figure instantly. Okay, now it is a month. Then again, if it is a April 2018, right? If you click March 2018, no data is there because our financial year starts from April 2018. Okay, April, May, June, like that. Okay, so this is the feature of timeline. Okay, to remove the timeline, just right click and say remove timeline. Yes. And if you think you are have any filter still, maybe you can go and clear filter. Your data is available for total for each treasury. Okay. Now, if you want to add any computed field in this pivot, you can go to the field list and you can say calculate field. Okay. Now, it will calculate field. It will ask you to give a formula. Okay. Only thing is what you have to can is suppose I want to compute the average expenditure. For that, what we can do is go to the voucher amount. You select the voucher amount, right, in that field, and you can say by 12. Is it visible? Otherwise, I will do one thing. Okay, I will create one more sheet. I think. Okay, this is actually once you click that, like this is the insert calculate field will appear like this. Only this you can give the field name here. Whatever the field name you give, that will be shown there. And formula you have to say voucher amount by 12. So once you say OK, automatically what it will compute average expenditure. Average expenditure to yeah. Okay, that's the sum of field 1, right? This is the average expenditure for our actual expenditure. This by 12 is equal to this. Now this is also part of our pivot table, right? How we know whether it is part of our pivot table or not? Because if the focus is on this cell, the menus will added and the pivot fields also are visible. Suppose if you click in the D, the menu is also disappearing and pivot fields also are disappearing. So now it is sure that this field is also part of our pivot table. Okay, like that you can create any calculated fields in the pivot table. Right. Similarly, you can I will okay we can remove this. We can go to the solve order. Sorry. Here, if you see in the rows box, here values sum of voucher amount and sum of field 1. If you want to remove this, just drag and drop out of this so that only it will be removed from the screen. Okay. Now, and another powerful feature is pivot charts. Okay. If I click this, we can easily draw graphs. Okay. It will recommend some of the best graphs which you can draw based on the pivot data. Just select whatever it says, just say OK. Chart now this is the graph based on your pivot data. All the districts information is available. Okay. Now it will allow you to filter the data from graph also. I think this is from 2013 version onwards. Okay, earlier versions this feature is not there. That you have to ensure. Suppose if a feature is not available, that is maybe your version is the older version. In latest version, this feature is available. Okay, here I am selecting only some 3 districts: Adilabad, Bhadradri, and Bhopalapalli. When I said OK, you see the graph. Not only the graph, but your pivot table is also filtered. That means a single filter will apply to both graph as well as the pivot table. So it gives confidence. That means suppose you have created a graph and you have applied some filter, and you need not bother about the graph. Your graph also will respond. Your pivot chart will also respond. And just only thing is you apply filter, right? And you can just copy the graph, and that is the correct graph actually, right? Similar. Okay, if you add to change your filter, go and add 2 more districts. Both your pivot table as well as your graph will uh, respond to that filter, and arrange the data accordingly. Okay, now I will remove this, and I will select all the values. Okay, so this is how we can draw pivot charts. So drawing pivot chart is very easy, and another advantage is it will respond to your pivot data of your pivot table. So that is the biggest advantage. Okay. Now the last option here I want to show you is recommended pivot tables. This is one of the very good feature. If you click this, what it will show you is from the base data what type of pivot tables you can generate. It is like templates. Okay. Suppose it is saying treasury wise amount. This we have already created. Maybe if you come down, okay, there are so many templates it has given recommended pivot table. Just you click on this, okay, and you say okay, your pivot table is ready. Okay, as quickly as possible, it will generate. Okay, anything you just select, say okay, this is the major advice totals. Right, earlier it was computed treasury wise, major advice. So based on the base data, it will recommend some of the pivot tables, ready reckoner, like you just click it, that pivot table will be drawn. Okay, so this is the recommended pivot tables for us. And if you want, this is the treasury wise totals. Okay. Right, and field list. If you want this field list, if you want to show, if you don't want, maybe it is like on off button. You can select this. This plus minus is when we created a hierarchy, plus symbol will appear. If you don't want that to be displayed, you can off the button. Right, field headers. Suppose if you click this, field headers will disappear. These headings will be disappeared. So these three are on off. Right, if you want this information, it will be available on the screen. Otherwise, it will hide that information. Okay, so this is analyze menu, and the last one is design menu. In the design menu, these are all the pivot table styles. If you click this, that color will apply. Right, blue color, whatever it may be. See, these only for visualization purpose. Similarly, banded rows. Right, if you click on this, alternate rows will be banded with the blue color. Right, or if you want to band the columns, you can select the columns. So when you have suppose more than 2, you can see alternate columns are colored as a blue color. Okay, now okay, now there are 4 totals are there. One is subtotals, right? Whenever you have hierarchy, then you can hide the subtotal, or if you want, you can suppose okay. We will see with one example. I am generating one more hierarchy with major head below the treasury. Okay, now if I go to the subtotals, right, show all subtotals at bottom of the group. Okay, once I click it, maybe we have to expand this to see the right. Okay, what we said is show the totals at the bottom of the group. So at the bottom of Adilabad total was displayed here. Okay, if you want at the top, then you can go to the subtotals and show. also up to the top of the group. Then you can see at the top. This is the Adilabad total. Okay. So it all depends on how we want. It is like for reporting, because from here we can generate the report. So that is why if you don't want subtotals, yeah, just you can say the subtotal will disappear, right? Okay. Similarly, if you want grand totals, off for rows and columns, when you say click this, suppose you have multiple columns, at the end it will show you the column wise total and row wise total also. If you don't want, you can click the off for rows and columns. If you click on, then it will show both row wise totals and column wise totals, or you can say only for rows or only for columns. So okay. And this is the report layout shown in a compact form. This is the different styles. Okay, this is a tabular form. Okay, if you go for a outline form, this is the outline form. This is for report purpose, how you want. Okay, so this is the compact form. Like that you can change the layout. Okay, blank rows, insert blank rows after each item, right? So then it will create blank rows. So after each, remove blank lines after each item. If you click that, automatically it will remove. These are all for readability purpose and reporting purpose, right? So with this, I think all we have reviewed all the items available in the menu. You see, one blank row was created here. If you don't want, you can go there and you can say blank rows. I don't want to remove blank lines after each item, like that. Okay. So this is the uh, features of pivot table. Hope you understood the concept very well. I repeat the very important points quickly. One is uh, the pivot tables is nothing but our columns in our base table, right? Whatever the values you want to put it in rows, you can just drag and drop that in the rows box, and whatever the columns you want, those values, those fields you can drag and drop in the columns box. Values is for number fields, and filters, you can apply filters uh, for the columns which are not part of our pivot table, though it must be a base table, because the entire base data is also available for the pivot, though it is not visible in your pivot table. That is the reason why it will respond to the filters, though which are not part of our pivot table. Okay. And another thing is insert a slicer and timeline. These two are very powerful features with which you can apply multiple filters. Okay, and if you, next is pivot chart. Uh, if you use the pivot chart and when the filters is applied to your pivot data, automatically your chart also will respond. There is no need to relook into your chart whether it is drawn correctly or not, or you don't want to do anything. Just whatever data is visible in your pivot table, based on that your graph also will change, right? And recommended pivot tables, automatically it gives some templates. So using those templates, you can generate your pivot tables very quickly. Okay, and if you want to add additional fields in your pivot tables, you can go to the calculate field. Calculate item will add one more row. Okay, okay. So suppose if you want to percentage wise for each district, Adilabad, what is the percentage that will be added as a row? Then you can go to the calculator item and you can give the formula. Then that will be added as a row. Okay. Calculate field will add a column. Calculate item will add a row. It is a calculation part, right? Okay. Right. And if you want to see all the formulas, you can go and say list of formulas. That will it will show you what are the formulas you have used. Suppose generally what happens in a complicated complex pivot table, you may use multiple formulas, and this will help you to read all what are the formulas available at a one place. Okay, so this is the advantage. So this is all about pivot table. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you all.